Please welcome to the stage, City of Los Angeles Council Member Nithya Raman.
Hello everyone, my name is Nithya Raman. I'm the council member for Council District 4, home to Griffith Park, home to the Greek Theater. Welcome to Council District 4. We were P-22's host for so many years, and it's only fitting that Council District 4 hosts this memorial for our beloved king. You know, people roll their eyes a little bit. I heard that when they said, it's so LA that a memorial for a mountain lion sold out. and you know what I thought? Yeah, that's right. It's so LA, only in LA. Only in LA would a beautiful wild animal like P-22 come and live in this municipal park, and residents would demand and clamor that he be allowed to stay here, and stay he did for over a decade. Only in LA would his presence delight my constituents so much that for the past 2 years that I've had the privilege of serving in this role, I've gotten emails and text after text of P-22 ambling down driveways, snaking through people's backyards in all his big, beautiful glory. It's been such a privilege to get all of these. And only in LA would our love for P-22 spur a movement to protect these big cats that would lead to an almost $90 million investment for a wildlife crossing, one of many to come here in this region. As your city representative today, I want to commit to you. And this is a sincere commitment, and one that I'll need all of your support in making and keeping, that I'm going to honor his memory by ensuring that our city minimizes our encroachment into the wilderness that nurtured him. And that we fight for more housing and make more space for all those people. So many people want to live in this city. So many people want to live in Los Angeles, and we're going to make space for them so that we can preserve that wild open space that nurtured P-22, and so that we can protect his surviving brothers and sisters for the generations to come. Thank you all.
Please welcome back to the stage, California Regional Executive Director of the National Wildlife Federation, Beth Pratt.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Raman. And we also want to give a shout out to Los Angeles County 5th District Supervisor Catherine Barger is in the audience. Thank you. These are people you're hearing from today, the elected officials who represent P-22, and they are here to show support for perhaps their most famous constituent. Thank you. At least not crying during this segment. It is my pleasure to introduce a good friend of mine as well, and somebody I met through P-22, because what I love about P-22 is we all connected to him, but he also connected us to each other. And Warren Dixon of Third Rock Hip Hop is a friend of mine from Watts who learned, much like I did about the P-22 story, was inspired. And he was inspired by his music. So get ready to sing and dance along to a song he wrote about P-22. Warren, come on out. Okay, you're next. Yeah, I know.
22. So we're gonna make some noise and we're gonna dance and everything for P-22, alright? So when I point to you, I want you to say, we're on the move again, okay? Let's test it out over here one time. Say, do we love P-22 or what? Let's go, say, we're on the move again. Okay? Let's do this. Look. I woke up this morning and I just started roaming with no map to show me where, but I just started going. See, I used to be small and then I started growing, and I started to think about all I wanted. Then I traveled around trying to find my way. Come on and tell me that you go with me. I'm trying to explore far as I can see. Hey, I know it's more out there, baby. What? Across streets and across mountains. I'll go up them and I'll go down them. I'll keep walking and I'll keep climbing. Y'all ready for this? Let's go. Say. Alright, let's see what the middle got for me. One time, say. This I say. If you got a beautiful smile, let me hear you say. On my trip, I met a few friends like you and I met a bird up in the sky that showed me how he could fly. With his wings and he could sing. I met a bee and he could sting. I met a family of squirrels. I met a rabbit that could spring. And as he bounced all around, I noticed tracks on the ground. Found out it wasn't deer. A lot of animals live here. People love to walk around inside the park where I stay. There's a whole lot of room for me to run and I can play and have fun all day. Up these trees and all these mountains, I'll come up them and I'll go down. Took me some time and I can't count it, but I'll keep happy. Let's go. Up top, say. Say. Okay. If you want P-22, let me hear you say. Let me see y'all dance up here one time. Go. Let me see the moves. We got some dances over there, say. Okay. If you watch your live, stay real. Just like that. Let's do it one time together, say. Hey. Y'all make some noise for P-22 one time. Make some noise for yourself one time. Make some noise for the people on stage one time. I love y'all.
Let's hear it for Warren Dixon and team! So, as I told you, P-22 connected a lot of this together, and this next guest I got to know because when we first started this campaign to build the world's largest wildlife crossing, people told us we were crazy. Like, are you nuts? But crazy finds crazy, and this next guest is such a good person, and he did our first campaign video. Let's see it.
And let's face it, LA traffic sucks, especially for the cougars. And no, I'm not talking about the housewives of Brentwood. I'm talking about mountain lions who want to get across the freeways to roam around in the Santa Monica Mountains. My good friend and homeboy, P-22, is stuck in Griffith Park as we speak. So what we want to do is build a wildlife crossing across the 101 freeway with total freedom and access to the Santa Monica Mountains. Here's how you can help. Text LION to 25383 to donate $10 towards this overpass. Hashtag Save LA Cougars, not the housewives of mountain lions. Look at this beautiful cougar I just picked up.
I saw Radiohead here. It's amazing. We're all here to celebrate wild and natural Los Angeles. Incredible. And how about the great Beth Pratt? Isn't she the best? I mean, come on. She's incredible. She's given so much of her life to this cause, so thank you. I'm so honored to be here. So, what better than a little ditty about Jack John Cougar, ladies and gentlemen. little ditty. You know what? Scrap that. I wrote a little song for this occasion. It's hard to follow Warren Dixon in that incredible jam, but I'm gonna do my best. All right, and I want you to sing along with me. P-22, P-22, you left behind a lot of friends and cougar poo. P-22, oh P-22, all of Los Angeles is gonna miss you. Try it again. P-22, P-22, you left behind a lot of friends and cougar poo. P-22, P-22, all of Los Angeles is gonna miss you. You crisscrossed the freeways and lived near the zoo. You ate a few poodles and a house cat or two. You're a Hollywood star and a celebrity too. You bounced round Mulholland like a feline kangaroo. P-22, oh P-22, you left behind a lot of friends and cougar poo. P-22, oh P-22, all of Los Angeles is gonna miss you. There will never be a P-23. Griffith Park Observatory should be named after thee. P-22, P-22, you left behind a lot of friends and cougar poo. P-22, oh P-22, all of Los Angeles is gonna miss you.
Wow. We're going to be singing that at future P-22 days. I think we can all. So, I wrote this at 2 a.m. The night before P-22 had to be humanely euthanized. I'm going to read it to you now. It's a eulogy for P-22, a mountain lion who changed the world. I write this eulogy while looking across one of the 10-lane freeways P-22 somehow miraculously crossed in 2012, gazing at a view of his home, Griffith Park. Burbank Peak and the other hills that mark the terminus of the Santa Monica Mountains emerge from this urban island like sentinels, making a last stand against the second largest city in the country. The traffic noise never ceases. Helicopters fly overhead. The lights of the city give the sky no peace. Yet a mountain lion lived here, right here in Los Angeles. I can't finish writing this sentence without crying because of the past tense. It's hard to imagine I will be writing about P-22 in the past tense now. Biologists and veterinarians with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife announced today they have made the difficult decision to end P-22's suffering and help him transition peacefully to the next place. I hope his future is filled with endless forests without a car or road in sight and where deer are plentiful, and I hope he finally finds the mate that his island existence denied him his entire life. I am so grateful I was given the opportunity to say goodbye to P-22. Although I have advocated for his protection for a decade, we had never met before. I sat near him, looking into his eyes for a few minutes and told him he was a good boy. I told him how much I loved him and how much the world loved him. And I told him I was so sorry that we did not make the world a safer place for him. I apologize that despite all I and others who cared for him did, we failed him. I don't have any illusions that my presence or words comforted him, and I left with a great sadness I will carry for the rest of my days. Before I said goodbye, I sat in a conference room with team members from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife and the team of doctors from the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. They showed me a video of P-22's CT scan, and they outlined all the serious health issues that they had uncovered. The most severe injuries resulted from him being hit by a car, and I thought of how terrible it was that this cat, who had managed to evade cars for a decade, in his weakened and desperate condition, could not avoid the vehicle strike that sealed his fate. As the agency folks and veterinarians relayed these sobering facts to me, tissue boxes were passed around the table, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house. This team cares just as much for this cat as we all do, and they did everything they could for P-22 and deserve our gratitude. Although I wish so desperately he could have returned to the wild or live out his days in a sanctuary, the decision to euthanize our beloved P-22 is the right one. With these health issues, there can be no peaceful retirement, only some managed care existence where we prolonged his suffering, not for his benefit, but for ours. Those of us who have pets know how it feels when we receive news from the veterinarian that we don't want to hear. As a lifelong dog and cat owner, I have been in this dreadful position too many times. The decision to let them go is never easy, but we as humans have the ability, the responsibility, and the selflessness to show mercy to end the suffering for these beloved family members, a compassionate choice we scarcely have for ourselves. I look at Griffith Park through the window again and feel the loss so deeply. Whenever I hike to the Hollywood sign or stroll down a street in Beechwood Canyon to pick up a sandwich at the Oaks, or walk to my car after a concert at the Greek Theater, the wondrous knowledge that I could encounter P-22 always propelled me into a joyous kind of awe. And I'm not alone. His legions of fans hoped for a sight of Hollywood's most beloved celebrity, the Brad Pitt of the cougar world, on their walks or their ring cams. And when he made an appearance, the videos usually went viral. And perhaps the most Hollywood of P-22's moments, human celebrity Alan Ruck, star of Succession, once reported seeing P-22 from his deck and shouting at him like a devoted fan would. We will all be grappling with the loss of P-22 for some time, trying to make sense of a Los Angeles without this magnificent wild creature. I love P-22 and hold a deep respect for his intrepid spirit, charm, and just plain chutzpah. We may never see another mountain lion stroll down Sunset Boulevard or surprise customers outside the Los Feliz Trader Joe's. But perhaps that doesn't matter. What matters is he showed us that was possible. He changed us. He changed the way we look at LA. And his influencer status extended around the world, all of you who are watching today, as he inspired millions of people to see wildlife as their neighbors. He made us more human, made us connect to that more wild place in ourselves. We are part of nature, and he reminded us of that. Even in the city that gave us Carmageddon, where we thought wildness had been banished a long time ago, P-22 reminded us it's still here. His legacy to us and to his kind will never fade. He ensured a future for the entire population of mountain lions in the Santa Monica Mountains by inspiring us to build the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing, which broke ground this spring. P-22 never fully got to be a mountain lion. His whole life, he suffered the consequences of trying to survive in unconnected space, right to the end when being hit by a car led to his tragic end. He showed people around the world what we need to do to ensure our roads, highways, and communities are better and safer for wildlife, and where people and wildlife can freely travel to find food, shelter, and families. The Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing would not have been possible without P-22, but the most fitting memorial to P-22 will be how we carry his story forward in our work. One crossing is not enough. We must build more, and we must continue to invest in proactive efforts efforts to protect and conserve wildlife and the habitats they depend on, even in urban areas. Let me insert what's not in the eulogy. We have a wildlife ordinance in LA. We need to ban rat poison, and we need mountain lions on the ESA list. P-22's journey to and from Griffith Park was a miracle. It's my hope that future mountain lions will be able to walk in the steps of P-22 without risking their lives on California's highways and streets. We owe it to P-22 to build more crossings and connect the habitats where we live now. Thank you for the gift of knowing you, P-22. I'll miss you forever, but I will never stop working to honor your legacy, and although we failed you in the end, we can at least partially atone by making the world safer for your kind. P-22 was protected is because of all of you, either watching virtually or in the audience. And another reason we know how to protect these animals are my next guests, who again, we kind of become family over time with this project. It's been, at least for me, over a decade, some other partners, decades. I'm the one who's all about emotion and loving and tributes, but coupled with that, we also need the science. That to me is, I think, the world I bridge, the spiritual and the science. I do both. I consider myself a scientist, but I have a very spiritual connection to animals. We need the science, and these next guests are the people that told us we have a problem with these mountain lions from their research, and that told us how to solve it. And I always joke, my job is making the scientists happy and putting their science in action. So it's my honor to introduce, to me, rock stars of the science world, the National Park Service, Jeff Sikich, Seth Riley, and David Szymanski to the stage.